Welcome in to another edition of the League Podcast. It is Sunday, November 9th, about 8 a.m. Back at it for all you guys out there missing the podcast. I apologize for the lack of podcasts coming your way, but we are back, ready to go. With that said, big Sunday ahead. Lions, Commanders, Trump's going to be there. Would love nothing more than to shit all over that team and send him home in a worse mood. Also, isn't it fair to assume that MAGA has been boycotting everything? So why are they even watching? They're boycotting the Super Bowl. They're boycotting. So anyway, where should we start? Let's start with catching up on where we last left off. We've got week 7, 8, and 9 that have taken place. So here we go. Let's get into it. A little bit of a recap, starting with the Chicago Beanbags. When last we left them, they were 5-1. They now find themselves at 5-4. Three losses in a row. They were blown out by the 1-5 Jabronis by almost 70 points. Lost another game they were favored in against the Yankees by over 30, and lost their third straight by less than a point to the Pipes. Agbuka has cooled off. They're pretty heavily invested in the Denver offensive players, which have been inconsistent, I would say, at best. And they have a questionable quarterback position. So the Bags, once seen as a contender, 5-1, now 5-4, and looking for answers. I would say the needle is trending down on them right now. See where that goes. Jabronis, the aforementioned Jabronis that blew out the Bags by almost 70. Last we saw them were 1-5. They're now 3-6. They've won 2 of their last 3. They outshot Mr. I in a high-scoring affair in Week 8, 163-154. Unfortunately, another big injury for the Jabronis as it cost them Cam Scatterbo. And then they flopped against Studio City with 105, and Roma Dunze putting up 0, a goose egg, in a massive 47-point performance by the Bears. How does that even happen? I really don't understand how you post up 40-plus points in an NFL game and Adunze doesn't get a target. That's just fucking mental. So right now I would say, while they are 3-6 and the record doesn't reflect it, I think the Jabronis are still an incredible team. Injuries have taken its toll, and they've had some really bad luck. I'm gonna say the needle is steady on them right now. And if they can get things turned around just a little bit, this could be a very, very dangerous team. But right now, neutral position for the Jabronis. Moving on, the Yankees, 3-3 last time we spoke, now 5-4, also have won 2 of their last 3. Week 7 saw them blow out the Turkeys behind Rashee Rice and Matt Stafford. They upset the Bags as well. They were not favored in that game. In Week 8, that time it was behind Cook, who has been unbelievable for them this year, and old man Joe Flacco. And then last week, they came up against the Kraken, and they actually went up against Matt Stafford in that game. And while Rice and Genty performed really well, they lost by just under 10 points. They do have momentum, though. Losing to the Kraken is not a damnable offense. The Kraken are very, very good. So I say momentum is here. The needle is up on the Yankees. Let's move on to the Turkeys. What the fuck happened here? The Sherwood Forest Turkeys, last we saw them, they were 3-3. They are now 3-6. They won 3 in a row earlier in the year, including high scores in week 3 and 4, but they haven't won a game since week 4. They went from 3-1 to now 3-6. So they've lost 5 in a row, including a low score in the league in week 5 and in week 8. Heartbreak against Bay City, losing by 4, a low-scoring loss to the Capybaras, and a Yankees beatdown. The needle is majorly down on these guys. They picked up Aaron Rodgers this morning before I started recording. Things are looking grim for the Turkeys, but you never know. Things can change in a heartbeat, but right now the needle is pointing down on the Turkeys. Moving on, the expansion Pipes. Last we spoke, 3-3, now 4-5. 2 really, really hard matchups for an expansion team. They played Miami, the defending champs, as well as the Kraken, both L's for them. But then they got a big rebound win last week, squeaking by the Bags by less than a point. Big win right there. That could go very far when it comes down to playoff time. They are a middle-of-the-pack team right now, But given the tough schedule, I'm going to say we're slightly trending up for the Pipes. Slightly trending up. It's been a tough couple games, so I want to see what happens here in Week 10 moving forward. All right, the defending champs, Miami. Now they are 6-3. Last we saw them 5-1, so a little bit of a drop-off. They really punished the Pipes in Week 7. After that, they've lost 2 straight for the first time all year. The Bay State Breakers beat them by 10, and the Copies dropped 170 on them. BTJ and Swift injuries probably have something to do with this. Dowdle has been unbelievable. Jefferson has been unbelievable. And Marvin Harrison Jr. has come to life. So there's a lot to look forward to. I would say offsetting injuries, good performances. But right now, the needle is probably neutral on these guys. They're still a very, very good team, obviously. They're still a top-tier team and a contender. And, of course, they're still the champs. So until they're not, put some respect on their name. But the needle right now on their season, I would say, is neutral. Moving on, Bay State. Last we saw them, they were 2-4, now 4-5. Lost to Mr. I in Week 7. Now have won 2 in a row for the first time all year, toppling the defending champs in Week 8 and the Turkeys in Week 9. Bucky Irving, CJ Stroud, Travis Hunter, all hurt. They've been playing quarterback roulette all season. There is a little bit of a flaw there in their roster, but Darnold has stepped in. Pittman has been consistent. If Bay State can get healthy, I think this team could be really good. Needle is trending up on Bay State. Up next, Mr. I. 2-4. Last we spoke, now 3-6. The snake-bitten schedule for Mr. I has been nuts. They posted 154 in Week 8 and lost. An average week in Week 9. And that was another loss to the highest scoring team in the week, which was West Adams. Mr. I is still dangerous. They need to focus on getting out from the bottom here. If they can steady the ship and get into the playoffs, it's all there for these guys. I feel like they have a very talented team. They just haven't had the matchups this year. But nonetheless, the needle is slightly down on Dave and Mr. I. Up next, the Los Angeles Fighting Capybaras. Last we spoke, they were 3-3, a 500 team, and now they are a game above 500 at 5-4. They lost in Week 6 and 7, and the Copies responded with wins in Week 8 and 9, knocking off the defending champs. They've showed some teeth, but they've had trouble in the consistency from week to week. So the form has just kind of dipped. It's been a little bit of a bouncy year, but CMC and Drake have been sick. Quarterback has been an issue. Goff, Fields, they just haven't had consistent performances there. The return of Garrett Wilson could be another big boost for them. The needle is trending up on the Copies. 3 teams left. Let's go to Studio City. 2-4 last time we spoke, now 5-4. The Studio City Zombies. A little bit of a late Halloween vibe here. They have won 4 in a row, and their team is The Walking Dead. Burrow, Hampton, Kupp, Kraft. All these injuries, who gives a fuck? 4 wins in a row for the Studio City Zombies, 2 in massive fashion. You would have liked to have seen this team push for something at the trade deadline, make some roster moves, but I guess that's not their style. They're going to stand put with a roster of Walking Dead. The needle is undead and pointing up. Up next, let's talk about my team, the West Adams Wolfpack. We were 2-4 in Week 7. And now we are 4-5, a game below 500. One step forward, one step back seems to be the mantra of my team this year. It's like we lose, we have a huge week, and that just kind of repeats itself. 2 of the last 3 weeks, we've posted the top score in the league. Still just trying to find consistency. I feel like Pearsall maybe got shot in the knee instead of doing whatever he did to it. I don't know if he's going to be back. Been out for 3-4 weeks now. Ridley the same way. But yeah, we'll see. Jackson Dart getting to start this week, and the needle is pointing up for the Wolfpack. And lastly, the champions in waiting, potentially, the West Seattle Kraken. Last we saw them 5-1, now 7-2. Speaking of West Adams, by the way, Week 7 saw the Wolfpack hang 193 on the Kraken. Just as a reminder that we're still out here, giving them their second loss for the year, but Week 8 and 9 saw the Kraken return to their winning ways, dusting the Yankees and the Pipes. John Taylor, unbelievable year for that guy in Indy, along with Daniel Jones. I don't even know what to say about that, but Taylor has been incredible. made up for the slight cooling of Saquon Barkley coming off of last year and Baker Mayfield cooling down. The Kraken, they look strong, although I wouldn't say they look peerless. They have a great record, and they're going to be there when the playoffs come, but I do think they are beatable. It's possible. Right now, until otherwise, though, their needle is pointing up. So, let's take a look at the odds of making the playoffs per Yahoo Fantasy 2024 results. Right now, we've got 3 categories. The 3-win teams, Mr. I, Turkeys, and Jabronis, all looking at a 13.5% chance to make the playoffs. And that's, I will say, that is shocking. The Turkeys have fallen off. I thought they had a good team, although I said it often that the roster was flawed. Mr. I and the Jabronis, 2 really good teams. These are 2 rosters that are way better than 3 wins. And I'm a firm believer if they do get into the playoffs, they will make noise. But right now, those odds are looking slim. 4 to 5 win teams, which is the majority of our league, 53.8%. Now, that win total, 4 to 5 wins, could easily remain that way if matchups go the wrong way. So that's where I feel like the 3 teams in the lower division, the lower tier of 13.5%, have their chance. But 53.8% for the 4 or 5 win teams. And then Miami and Seattle, the 6 to 7 win teams, 90.6% chance to make the playoffs. So they're as good as in. They're as good as in. All right, moving on. Week 10. Let's go. Studio City 5-4 taking on the Dankies 5-4. Studio City is 4-0 all time against the Dankies. That record looks to be in jeopardy. No running back as of last night in the lineup. We'll see what the front office can shake out by kickoff, but the Dankies were 75% favorites, and I think they'll get the W this week. There just isn't much there out there for Studio City to grab. That said, doubt them at your own peril. They have been the Studio City Zombies for some time, and Dankies, this would be a tough loss to take if they can't pull it out. I'm predicting a Dankies win here in Week 10. Jabronis 3-6, fighting Capybaras 5-4. Jabronis are 3-1 all time against the Capybaras and have won the last 3 in a row. Lots of variability here in this one in terms of who will play and who won't and what impact they might have, even if they do. The Jabronis are 56% favorites against the Capybaras. I feel like this one's a total toss-up. If Wilson plays and the Copies get them in, this could be the difference in the game. I'm picking the Copies to move to 6-4. Up next, the Pipes at 4-5, taking on Mr. I at 3-6. Players who have more targets than the Pipes, Rashid Shaheed, over the last 4 weeks. Jamar Chase, Ladd McConkey, and Drake London. Wow. Rashid Shaheed, huh? How about that? The Pipes have By-Mageddon, however. Mr. I needs this win. It looks like the Pipes are going to be very shorthanded. Failure to work the waiver wire earlier has left them in a pickle. Mr. I needs to convert this week on this chance to take the easy win and move to 4-6, and I pick them to do just that. Up next, the Bags 5-4 taking on Miami at 6-3. On paper, 5-4 against 6-3, the defending champs against the team with the most titles. This should be an amazing matchup and an amazing game. And on paper, it looks that way. However, the Bags have lost the last 3 against Miami and are 2-5 all time against them. The Bags are favored once again and have not done well under those circumstances. But I am predicting that Miami will take this one and move to 7-3. Both teams desperately need a win. Up next, Kraken 7-2 taking on the 3-6 Turkeys in freefall. 14 all-time matchups in this one, and it's a dead heat, 7-7. The Kraken have taken the last 2. Turkeys need all hands on deck to find a way to win this game. They're favored 51% by Sleeper. However, I'm calling this one for the Kraken to move to 8-2. Aaron Rodgers likely to get the start for MAGA Turkeys. Up next, Bay State 4-5 taking on the Wolfpack 4-5. Each team has won twice in the 4 games they have played. Bay State the last 2 in a row. Interesting little fact, Jackson Dart getting the start today for the Wolfpack is the QB3 in total fantasy points since becoming a starter for the Giants in Week 4. Big moment for him on the Wolfpack. 2 wins in a row. First time all year for Bay State. They want to keep it rolling as they get healthier. West Adams, 57% chance to win. I'm going to back those. I'm going to call the dub. So good luck to you this week, Jeff. Anyway, we've got a great day of football ahead. Lions are the late game. I'm going to go have a breakfast burrito. Hope you guys have a great Sunday lined up. Get the Christmas tree lights up. Get your turkeys pre-ordered from your local grocer. And glad to be back talking to you guys. Hope you enjoyed the pod. Talk to you soon.